Hi everyone, welcome to week 10 of study skills class for this year. Trust you all had a nice break. You enjoyed your break from all of the CBA online classes and all the homework from last week, and also I hope you had a blessed Easter. But we're back at it, so we're going to jump in here today for this week's class. If you haven't already printed out your class sheet that was also sent with the with this video, you want to poke pause and print out your class note-taking sheet as well as your homework sheet. You're going to need that note-taking sheet for the class we're about to jump into. So if you don't have it, poke pause, go ahead and print it out, and we'll jump in. The last class, during the last class, we continued to look at test preparation strategies, how to get ready for a big test. And we talked about preparing for a big test 4 or 5 days out, using your week at a glance calendar to sort of divide and conquer that overwhelming task of getting ready for a big test, of reviewing and going over all the notes from the semester or whatever this test is going to be on. So you want to use that divide and conquer strategy. You want to spread it out over 4 or 5 days to get ready for this test. Today we're going to talk a little bit about last minute strategies. That 4 or 5 days is already passed, and you've done your maybe you used your Cornell note-taking sheets, did memory cue reviews, summary reviews, put together a study group from your classmates. All those strategies that when you've got a little bit of time to put those together. But today what we're going to do is talk about test day, how to strategize to get the best, make the best experience out of test day as you prepare for as you get ready to take this exam. The first thing you want to do is you want to start the night before. Now that's on your note-taking sheet where it says up at the top there, start with the night before. The idea there is that the night before a big test, you want to set out all the things that you're going to need for that day. You're going to set out your clothes, anything that you would need so that you'd have a calm, relaxing, non-scrambling time between the time you wake up and the time you sit down and take this exam. You want to find your notebooks, find your textbooks, calculators, your test-taking clothes, whatever you need you're going to need. You want to set it out the night before so that your morning is restful and relaxed because of this. You've got a task ahead. So it says here, start with the night before, set out your necessaries, packed and ready, all the things that you're going to need. So you get up and you'll have a relaxing morning. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you get a good night's sleep. A good night's sleep is important. Plenty of sleep will help you to feel rested, alert, you'll be able to concentrate, and more important, you'll be able to relax and recall the information that you're going to need for that test. So you want to get a good night's sleep. You don't want to get, this is a good night's sleep, but not too good. That's not the night you want to sleep for 15 hours. Where your body is just gonna be too logy and all to be alert and happy. You want to get good 7 or 8 hours of sleep. So start with a good night's sleep. You also want to get a good breakfast that day. It's helpful. A good breakfast is helpful. It'll carry you through the day. It'll add energy and stuff to your system. You want to get a good breakfast, but not too good. This is not the morning that you want to have a 12 stack of pancakes, 2 cinnamon buns, chocolate frosted sugar bomb cereal. You want to be smart about your good breakfast, a wholesome breakfast. Number 4 here. By the way, breakfast is breakfast. Get a good breakfast, but not too good. Number 4, you want to dress for success. SUCCESS. Dress for success. The idea there is you wouldn't go to an important event or a meeting. Hold that thought. Guess what time it is? That's right, 7 o'clock. I'll let you guess whether it's 7 in the morning on Thursday morning or whatever. Anyway, so you wanna dress for success. You wouldn't go to an important event, an important meeting. You wouldn't go grubby. It's a test. You wanna be high and tight. You wanna be dressed for success. You wanna be lean and mean, clean and mean, and so that's the day that you wanna take a good shower. You don't want to show up, with an old flannel shirt, holey sweatpants, one sneaker, one flip flop, dragon breath, and ratty hair. No, you want to be clean and mean and ready to take that test. You got to feel sharp, SHARP. You got to feel sharp to be mentally prepared, MENTALLY. You got to feel sharp to be mentally prepared. It's important. And number 5 is you want to avoid highly distracting activity just before you go into a test. This would be things like, playing an hour of basketball just before you go into the test, or hanging out at a get together with a bunch of people. Things that will tend to fill up your mind with the activities and events and sights and sounds that you just experienced, rather than that orderly studying that you've been doing for the last 4 or 5 days. So you want to avoid highly distracting activities. You want to relax in the morning. You want to arrive at the test relaxed. You want to arrive early. You don't want to go blasting in the back door, take the worst seat, the only seat available, the worst one in the room probably. You want to get there early, and one of the reasons, it's number 6, arrive early, get a good test seat, TESTSEAT. You want to get a good test seat. Now that depends on, that could be different seats for different students, but generally it's helpful to get a seat up front. It's less distracting. You can hear all the directions. You won't be distracted so much by students in front of you and all of that. So, you want to pick you want to get there early so you can get a good seat that's really going to help you to concentrate and not be distracted. Number 7, pray. P-R-A-Y, pray. Pray will help you recenter your mind, recenter your spirit. It'll help you relax. It'll help you to settle yourself, put your time in focus. You want to hand over your stress and worries, casting your care on Him because He cares for you. And often that's a great help just before a test, is to take a moment, commit this time to Him, ask Him to take your stress and worries, ask Him to give you an alert mind. And then number 8, you want to listen carefully to all the oral instructions, all the instructions out loud, the verbal ones that the teacher or the instructor will give. You want to listen carefully to those. This is not a time to zone out. If the teacher's passing out tests and giving instructions at the same time, you want to make sure you listen carefully to what that instructor says about the test. Again, it's a little bit of a clue to how to think about this test. So you want to listen carefully, whatever the instructions are. Number 9, you want to read carefully all the written, WRITTEN. You want to read carefully all the written instructions. Again, not a time to zone out. It's also not a time to just skip over those in a hurry to get to those first test questions. And so you want to read them. You want to make sure you do what it says. If it says answer all the questions in full sentences, you want to make sure you know that and remember it. So you don't want to skip the written directions and instructions. You want to read them carefully. And then number 10, before you begin, it's wise to skim, S-K-I-M, take a moment to skim the entire test. Look at the kind of questions on each page. Assess in your mind a little bit of what's going to take up a lot of my time here. How much time is this test going to take about? You want to look for, you want to skim the entire test. You want to judge for the time, the types of questions, and then you want to look for hidden big time takers. You want to look for hidden time takers. Hidden time takers, the classic one is essay questions. so that you look in there and you see that both the last 2 pages are all huge essay questions. You want to make sure you know that ahead of time so that you can time yourself and pace yourself through the test so that you won't be run out of time. Number 11, possibly do a memory, MEMORY, download, DOWNLOAD. Possibly do a memory download. You remember we talked about that. It's when you're cramming so much stuff into your head and there's certain things that you're just barely able to hold on to, like 4 bars of soap in the shower. But if you quickly flip your test over or on a scrap paper or whatever you're allowed to have there and write down all these things that you're trying to keep in your mind, formulas for math or dates or things that you just want to be able to put down, so now your mind is free and not trying to hold on to certain information that you want to have ready for the test. Now it's already written down. It's called a memory download. You want to do it on a scrap piece of paper or in the margins of the test. This will help your confidence. It'll free your mind. It'll calm you down. It's called a memory download. Number 12, do the easy, EASY, do the easy questions first. You want to skip the difficult ones or the ones you don't know or the ones whose answers you don't remember yet. Because you may be able to, during the test, these answers may come to you. So do the easy questions first, skip the difficult ones or the ones that you don't remember the answers to, and then mark the ones on the edge of the paper. Mark the ones that you're skipping. That way you'll go back and you won't have to search for them. You'll just go down the marks in the left margin, let's say. And then allow the easy questions to stimulate your memory. As you go through and do the easy ones, allow them to stimulate your memory. STIMULATEYOUR, memory, MEMORY. Let the easy questions stimulate your memory, so that often that'll bring back phrases and thoughts and things that you remember that will help you to answer some of the questions that you don't know. Often answers to some questions are hidden in other questions. HIDDEN. Often, if you go through and you skip the ones you don't remember, often the answers to some of those questions are hidden inside other questions. So that if you're alert and you remember the questions you didn't remember, often you'll get hints from other questions. Number 13, pace yourself and keep moving. KEEP MOVING. You want to keep moving. You want to pace yourself. You want to make sure, if at all possible, you want to leave time at the end to go back over the test, to reread and rethink some of the questions. But be careful. Often the answer that you first, like when you're doing multiple choice or fill in the blanks, often the answer that comes to mind first can be correct. You don't want to overthink things sometimes, because often the end, if you really are making your best guess, often that's correct. But you want to give yourself a chance to, if possible, to go over the test at the end and go through some of the, especially the questions that you mark that you don't know. If you absolutely don't know, this is number 14. If you absolutely don't know, this is just Greek to you, you absolutely don't know, well, eliminate, ELIMINATE, eliminate and guess, ELIMINATE and guess, GUESS. The idea there is that, if it's a multiple choice question, for example, and you read the stem of the question real carefully, and you see A, B, C, D, and you're looking at it and say, I just don't know this one. And then you see C, you say, well, I know it's not C. I recognize that. That's actually an answer to a different question. Well, you eliminate that one, and then try to eliminate more and get it down to one, or get it down to two maybe, and then just guess. Just pick one and guess. Always better to take a guess than to leave something blank. All right, and then number 15, take the full time, FULLTIME, the full time allotted for the test unless you're absolutely sure. You want to make sure that you don't rush. Sometimes these tests can be very important for you, and so you want to make sure that you take the full time that you have, unless you're absolutely sure, and then you can go ahead and finish up and turn it in. Those are our test day strategies. And now you want to make sure the homework for next time, you want to make sure you download the homework for April 23rd. That's this one. And basically what you're going to do here is you're going to take some time to organize and clean up your notes, but you're also going to write a final exam. This will take a little more time perhaps than some of the other assignments we've had. You're going to write a final exam, your own final exam. You want to make some good multiple choice questions, some good fill in the blank questions. I think the homework says 3 good multiple choice questions, 3 good fill in the blank questions, 6 good true and false questions, and a short essay question. You want to write these on a separate sheet of paper, set them up like a test or a quiz, but don't write any answers in your test sheet. These sheets need to be mailed to me by next Thursday, the 23rd. So once you write your test and you have your 3 multiple choice, 3 fill in the blank, 6 true false, and a short essay question, go ahead and take a picture of that, or if it's in a Word document, just attach the Word document to an email to me, and then email your assignment to me by the 23rd, which is next Thursday. All right. Well, I trust you all are doing well. If you have any questions or any thoughts, any way I can be of any help, just email me. My email and my cell phone number are on the test, on the homework sheet. If you have any questions or didn't get the sheets or whatever, just email me and we'll hook you up. Trust you have a great week. We'll talk to you all next week.